Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's talk about Turn, Washington Spies. The first season of Turn just went live on Netflix a couple of weeks ago, so I thought, why not? Turn is a historical drama about the creation of a spy ring during the American Revolutionary War. The show follows Abraham Woodhull as he becomes this important part of the spy organization, the intelligence organization, as the spy ring itself is still taking shape. The show is based on a true story and most of the characters are based on real people, but this is a show, not a documentary. So if you're big on American history, you will have to forgive some liberties taken in the sake of entertainment. Speaking of history, the show does assume you know a little bit about the Revolutionary War, so I was able to enjoy the show more after I briefly went through the Wikipedia entry about the war and the Culper Spy Ring, which at times was more interesting than the show itself. So Turn wasn't exactly what I expected it to be. It is, above all, a drama about relationships and love and betrayal and things that are personal to these characters. Then it's a political thriller, and then it's a spy thriller. For a show that has the word spies in the title or tagline, whatever, it doesn't have a whole lot of spying going on. I get it that this season was mostly about introducing the characters and laying down the groundwork, but the stakes don't really feel that high up until about episode 7 out of 10. The story itself is interesting, and it's especially interesting to see them start off against impossible odds, and it's difficult to guess how they're gonna make anything work, and it is interesting to see them kind of crawl out of that impossible place. Jamie Bell as Abraham does a fantastic job. He was very good, but there's such a difference at the level of acting between some of these characters that some of them are very believable and do a really good job, and some of them are just kind of there. And when the show finally does get to some spying action, it just kind of goes through the spying cliches, you know, like one by one. Like when the spy talks to someone and people are just convinced way too easily, like it was a video game and you just put more numbers on the charisma skill or whatever and people just believe anything you say. Or people just happen to blab out some key piece of information which was exactly the piece of information that the spy needed. It all felt just a bit too easy. And I don't like it when a show beats me over the head with a point that they want me to get. Like this, did you get this? This. Did you get it? Did you get it? For Turn, it was the fact that the British are the bad guys. I get it. Okay, the British are all evil and they're the bad guys. Can we please move on with the story? Everyone from the British Army in this show, except incidentally from the ones who are kind of nice, are just these evil cartoons. All of them are like, yes, the rebels, It's like the Death Star, really. I'm just figuring this now. It's exactly like the Death Star on Star Wars. The rebels, yes, the rebels. They even have a discount Loki. That just took me out of it every time, out of what was otherwise a good scene. There is some very solid character development in this show. That's part of the reason the show starts out so slow. But a lot of the things that happened were just too obvious for me. For example, when someone says, "You can't tell anyone about this," the next scene is literally them telling everyone about this. For a show that's supposed to be a spy thriller, it just doesn't keep you guessing all that much. Let's move to some of the things I did like about the show. First of all, the show looks great. The sets and the costumes don't look like sets or costumes. They look like 1977 America. And if you're into American history, the references in this show can be very interesting. And I enjoyed learning about a lot of things from this show, some from the show itself and some from just reading up about it afterwards. The show exposed me to a lot of things that I didn't know because I just wasn't that familiar with the Revolutionary War. I mean, I knew who the different sides were, but that's pretty much it. So there's an educational value to be gained as a result of watching this show. I also did like the story itself. The premise is very interesting. They just didn't do enough with it until the end of the show. I only thought the 3 last episodes were completely interesting. And another thing that bothered me, one of the main characters of the show, Benjamin Tallmadge, he's a mastermind, he's calculated. Why does he wear a dick on his shoulder? Come on, look at that. That is a penis. No? Just me? Oh well. Bottom line, should you watch it? Well, if this was 13-hour-long episodes, I would say only watch this if you're a history buff. But since it's 10, 40-minute episodes, it's a pretty quick watch that might be a good investment in a better, more interesting second season. The show is slower than I'd like it to be, and it does take a while to get to the point, but there are some pretty good performances, especially from Jamie Bell, and the story itself is interesting. So it's not great and it's not bad, it's okay. I would say watch this show kind of just here and there. I wouldn't binge watch this show. I did because I wanted to make this review, but normally I would watch this show as a break here and there between really good shows. Season 2 actually comes out this month on April 13th with a 2-hour premiere special. I'm very interested to see if this first okay season pays off with a more exciting second season. So have you watched or are you watching Turn Washington Spies? I'd love to hear your thoughts and discuss in the comments. And also I'd love to hear any suggestions you might have about which shows I should review next. I already got some great suggestions that I should review shows that are a bit older and have already wrapped up, like Oz or The Shield and Sons of Anarchy, which I fully intend to do. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're finding binge watchers for the first time, welcome. We're talking about TV every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just trying to enhance your experience in watching these shows, and we have stories and news and reviews and all kind of great stuff, all for you fellow binge watchers and TV lovers. Your time is a precious resource. Let's make sure that you invest that resource in the right shows. So you can go ahead and click that big subscribe button to join in on the fun or check out any of the other videos on the channel. In any case, keep binging and I'll see you next time.